While Jimmy Butler was making waves in Miami, the Warriors were still struggling. With just 10 games left before the trade deadline, they were barely hanging on to the 10th seed, and their odds of winning the title were at a dismal plus 6,600. It was clear they needed a change, but no one expected it to be Jimmy Butler. When the trade happened, the critics didn't hold back. Why trade Wiggins for Butler? How will he get along with Draymond? And why commit $60 million over 2 years? But Steph Curry wanted Butler, and when they got him, Draymond Green was so sure that he boldly declared Golden State would win the title.
I think we're going to win the championship.
Say that one more time so that everybody here can
say that with your chest.
I didn't hear you, my earpiece.
Because they added Jimmy Butler the third, so what did you say?
81?
I'm sorry. I said I think we're going to win a championship, but I lied. We are going to win the championship.
Was Draymond out of his mind? Well, just 8 games later, the Warriors are on a 7-1 winning streak. Jimmy Butler's tough screens, aggressive drives, and knack for drawing fouls have set up the perfect situation for Steph Curry. Steph's scoring has jumped from 22.7 points on 43.1% shooting to 29 points per game, shooting nearly 50% from the field. And for the first time in 6 years, he's even throwing down dunks.
On their feet, it's going to be Steph Curry elevating. Normally goes to the 2 hands, but this time, the 1-hand flush.
Now, Draymond's words don't sound so crazy, and we're starting to understand why Steph Curry wanted Jimmy Butler. The Golden State Warriors aren't the dominant force they once were. This season, they've struggled to keep up with a younger, hungrier NBA, suffering loss after loss. They took an embarrassing defeat to the Phoenix Suns, and in their last 10 games before the trade, they'd only managed 3 wins and 7 losses. By mid-January, they were 25-24, sitting at 10th in the West, barely hanging on to the play-in spot. The defense was weak, allowing opponents to shoot 47% from the field and 38% from deep in those 10 games. The offense wasn't much better, ranking 19th in the league with 112 points per 100 possessions. It was clear they needed something to change, someone to flip the script. They needed a player who could bring back that tough mentality and play both sides of the ball. Fans thought it might be Kevin Durant or Zach LaVine. Anyone but the player who's already been suspended 16 games this year. Jimmy Butler didn't seem like the right fit for Golden State, but people like Jeff Teague always knew his potential.
From his days in Chicago with D. Rose and all those guys, he was a defensive-minded player, did all the hustle things, and that's what the Warriors needed. Another guy who could guard. Also, Jimmy can score, but he do all the little things like Draymond, and they needed another Swiss Army knife type.
When the Warriors traded Andrew Wiggins for Jimmy Butler, it caught a lot of people off guard, but the NBA world wasn't exactly impressed with the new-look Warriors. Analysts quickly pointed out Butler's limited deep shooting, his heavy reliance on physical play, and concerns over his injury history and off-court behavior. The early reviews were pretty harsh. Even after the Warriors went 3-1 in their first 4 games with him, those critics weren't ready to change their mind.
Who do you think afraid of Golden State? Even with Jimmy Butler. Do I believe they can beat OKC? No. Do I believe they can beat the Thunder? No. Hell, I don't believe if the Lakers these last 30 games get into some type of rhythm, I don't believe they can beat the Lakers, let alone dealing with Cleveland and Boston.
I don't believe that they're going to win it. Matter of fact, I know they're not going to win the NBA championship this year, but they definitely as hell going to compete. I believe that their ceiling is a first round.
Some even argued that Wiggins was a better fit for the Warriors than Butler. But what they all missed was the real reason behind the trade. It wasn't just about stats. It was about bringing a killer mentality to a franchise that needed a boost. The Warriors were looking for someone with a true passion for the game and a drive to win.
Jimmy is an over-communicator. You know what I'm saying? Like Jimmy gonna come to you before something ever happened. Like, if this happened, we're gonna do this. And I'll be honest with you, I see how people can get tired of Jimmy, because if you're not a basketball head, like if you don't love this and you over-communicate like Jimmy and you dot every T, dot every I and cross every T, losers will get frustrated with that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't love, eat, breathe this, and more importantly, winning, you can get frustrated with that. So I can see in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it's been, how someone can get frustrated with Jimmy.
Yep.
Because most people aren't winners. And so the things that he's doing, like, when I tell you, to me, it's music to my...
So far, Jimmy Butler's strong presence and communication have completely transformed the Golden State Warriors. In his debut against the Bulls, Butler put up 25 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal in just 29 minutes, helping the team come back from a 24-point deficit. In his next game against the Bucks, he delivered 20 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals in 31 minutes, leading Golden State to their second win. Butler sets tough screens that force switches, draws heavy contact, and puts opponents in foul trouble. His aggressive drives and quick decision-making constantly disrupt defenses. Stephen A. was spot on when he praised Jimmy's impact on Curry's game.
You know that Jimmy Butler has been to the free throw line 40 times. He's accumulated 40 free throws in the 4 games that he's played. So you got a guy that's not Andrew Wiggins, okay, that knows when to be aggressive, knows how to be aggressive, and most importantly, he spares Steph Curry, not just because he can be a bona fide secondary option, but because he gets to the free throw line. You gotta remember who Steph Curry is, and his greatest asset outside of his marksmanship is his conditioning. But he is going to be 37 years of age. And his movement without the basketball and constantly having to run around with everybody looking for him and creating space for him so he can launch. If you have a guy like Jimmy Butler, not only who can score, but who can get to the free throw line, buying you rest, that also galvanizes you because ultimately it elevates.
Stephen A. was spot on because just recently, Steph Curry exploded for 56 points, hitting 12 threes with incredible precision. Jimmy Butler played a key role in that performance, setting screens and drawing defenders, creating the perfect conditions for Curry to light it up from deep. At one point, Butler's off-ball movement caught the defense off guard. As he set a deep screen, Curry cut left, and the defense hesitated with a double team, leaving Curry wide open to drain the 3 that put the Warriors ahead. After the game, both Curry and Butler showed mutual respect, praising each other's performances that day.
Obviously, Jimmy provides a great presence, a high level of IQ, and connects the game. So if we keep doing that game after game after game, we should be in good shape down the stretch, and then we take it from there.
Fun to watch. Even more fun because it's a huge reason to why we won the game. I'm glad it was, like I said, I'm glad I'm on this side of it.
And of course, we can't overlook what Butler brings to the team in terms of basketball IQ. His ability to read the game, make smart decisions, and impact both ends of the floor is invaluable. He understands the flow of the game and knows exactly when to step up, making him a huge asset to the Warriors beyond just his physical skills.
Showing us a different way to run a set, to open up to get him in a certain position that's going to open it up. So if they take it away this way, if you just come out this side and do that, that's going to put this guy here and I got him sealed. You know what I'm saying? It's just different stuff like that. That Jimmy, man, he dialed in.
This new-look Warriors team is on a roll, and it's clear they're enjoying their success together. Steph is playing with a noticeable boost in confidence, and it's showing in his performance. Draymond is so fired up, he's making bold statements about the team's future. Even Buddy Hield has been shooting lights out since Butler arrived. When asked about the change, Jimmy had this to say.
I really enjoy being in soccer and being around these guys. Obviously, it's fun to win.
This is exactly why Steph Curry wanted Jimmy Butler. The Warriors needed someone with that killer mentality, someone who was ready to put everything on the line to win. That's exactly what Jimmy brought, and it's paying off in Golden State. Since the trade, the Warriors' offensive efficiency has surged with a +14 net rating. Their offensive rating jumped from 18th to 6th, while their defensive rating improved from 10th to 5th. Across the board, the numbers are up. Assists per game went from 9th to 3rd, assist to turnover ratio moved from 8th to 3rd, steals jumped from 9th to 2nd, and turnovers dropped from 12th fewest to 5th. But the big question remains, can this Warriors team, with its blend of veteran experience and fresh energy, live up to the championship expectations? Only time will tell. But let's not forget, playoff Jimmy is a real thing.
Playoff Jimmy is a real thing.
That's true. Yep.
Right? We're talking about a guy that has led the Miami Heat to 2 finals, right? Has been in the thick.
But can Jimmy Butler, the player who led the Heat to 2 finals, do the same for the Warriors? This isn't Miami, and he doesn't have to carry the entire load. Steph is still hitting shots from way beyond the arc, drawing defenses into the mix, and Draymond is still setting those crucial picks and talking trash. Jimmy can thrive off the chaos, especially from the corner, and he's already helping the Warriors improve at the free throw line. Combine that with Steph's range and Draymond's basketball IQ, and who knows what they can achieve. So what do you think? Can Golden State keep this winning streak going deep into the playoffs? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you like this video, check out the Steph Curry shot that changed the NBA next.